Hi, my name is Jennifer Negrete, and the mission for the Willenborg internship was to support mission-driven organizations through graphic design. We started the Willenborg internship in the fall of 2024. For my capstone, I worked with C2 Creative Studios, an independent brand strategy and design team in Chicago. My role was to create design materials that would support their interns and overall branding. The main piece I designed was the intern guidebook, which took about 80 hours. It's a handbook that new interns at C2 can use when they start. The guide covers everything from onboarding and file naming to C2's mission, vision, and values. I designed it to be clear, engaging, and useful as a real resource that helps interns feel prepared and confident as they begin their work. I also created logo variations, spending about 20 hours exploring different ways to design their logo. The goal was to show more C2's creative side while still keeping a professional look. Lastly, I designed an animated video that brings the intern guidebook to life. The video walks through the key sections in a more dynamic and engaging way. Altogether, this project was 120 hours. It really pushed me to apply my designs in a real-world context. One of the biggest challenges was working with a client who is also a graphic designer. At first, I felt like I didn't have a lot of creative freedom, and that was difficult, but over the time, I learned how to adapt to the client's visions while still finding ways to bring creativity and bring in my own work into it. So moving on to the Willenborg summer internship, we began by researching and identifying potential clients. We reached out to 40 plus organizations, and some of them did respond. I worked with one client, and then we ended up working as a team collaboration with 2 clients. So for Erie Neighborhood House, this was a team collaboration. I was specifically in charge of the 2 newsletters, one general newsletter and another one focused for volunteers. I started by creating a stylescape that matched Erie's mission, which is to provide strong support to immigrant and low-income families in Chicago. I designed the newsletters to feel clear, accessible, and connected to their identity. Overall, my biggest takeaways for this project were learning how to work in a team, keeping track of notes and emails for communication, and getting more experience working in Canva to meet the client's needs. For Melrose Park Library, I worked individually to design brochures, bookmarks, social media templates, and flyers for different audiences. I started with the youth program brochures, adding animal animations and a crossword puzzle to capture young audiences' attention. The adult program brochures highlighted the library's overall programs with a fun but professional design. For seniors, I created a more sophisticated printing instruction brochure. The bookmarks used elements from the brochures and included the same information in a smaller format. These are the youth bookmarks. These are the senior bookmarks. Lastly, these are the bookmarks for adults. For social media templates, the client wanted consistency with all other deliverables, so I maintained the same design language. Finally, I created template flyers, 3 for youth programs, keeping them playful but cohesive, and 3 for adult programs, flyers with more white space to align with the brochure style. For Beyond Hunger, this was a group collaboration that was in charge of a flyer and 4 social media posts for the Healthy Chef Challenge, as well as 3 program flyers. We began by each creating a stylescape to define the visual direction. The client liked both of our approaches, so we combined them into one cohesive design that we used all across all materials. First, I designed the Healthy Chef Challenge flyer. I used Beyond Hunger's branding colors and included images of fresh produce and chefs to make it more visually engaging. After designing the flyer, I created 4 social media posts to promote the Healthy Chef Challenge. Lastly, I designed 3 program flyers for Beyond Hunger's programs. Because these materials were very text-heavy, I included icons and visual elements to break up the content and make it easier to read. I paid attention to layout and hierarchy to keep the information clear. Some key takeaways from this project were leading client meetings and practicing how to present ideas clearly, taking organized notes that my teammates could easily reference, and staying on top of emails and projects notes to keep them aligned throughout the process. And as you can see, Beyond Hunger left us a very positive testimonial. This whole experience was an amazing opportunity. Being able to help these organizations really meant a lot to me, and working in a team gave me valuable lessons in communication and collaboration. Overall, I learned so much, both as a designer and as a teammate. I'm grateful for the chance to be part of this work. Thank you.